Well, hello there. It's Wednesday, and I am going to give you a quick update on day 5. And I'm also going to ask, what do you want my next Manny to be? I'm going to probably do it on Friday, so we got a couple of days. And ignore the paper cut. Owie. Why do paper cuts have to hurt so damn much? Anyway, wait a minute. What the fuck? What is this? It's not going away. Seriously. Oh my God. I don't want to pull it, but forget it. Whatever. Yeah, these little guys in the front have been driving me crazy too. This one, it just won't go away. Oh, man. Anyway, okay. So someone asked about if I had any crazy stories as a Lyft driver. I live in LA. I drive for Lyft. It's like, okay, death wish time. No, not really. But it's just, I've lived in LA my whole life. So driving here is just a normal thing. But anyway, I don't really have any crazy stories except one time when I was driving an SUV in my first couple years. I had one couple that were like this close to doing the nasty. And, they started to make out and I'm like, oh, gross, but whatever. And then I saw like her head start to dip and I said, okay, you guys, come on. And like, oh, sorry, we just haven't seen each other in a while. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Can you at least wait till you get to your hotel room? So that happened. But I drive during the day. So a lot of the crazies don't really come out during the day. So I haven't really, had that happen. But somebody asked me once if I ever drove anybody famous. And, I've actually been seeing this trend lately where you're interacting with a famous person, but you didn't know that they were famous. Yeah, that happened to me once. So I'll tell you that story really quick. It was my first year, so it had to be 2013. And the address was it was basically a really nice condo near Sunset and La Cienega, which is kind of like ground zero for West Hollywood, like Sunset Strip. So the name in my phone is not the name of the famous person. So that's reason number one why I didn't know who they were. On top of which, usually when you see a performer, you're like looking up at them on a stage or you see them on TV and you get a sense for who they are. And it's the classic thing. I thought he'd be taller. So, when the person got into my car, they were about my height. I'm about 5'5". He looked like he might be a tiny bit taller than me, but he didn't look like he was, 6 feet tall or anything. And he had on a pair of skinny jeans and a jean jacket with a shirt, plaid shirt. And his hair was in a faux hawk. His hair, okay, usually with a faux hawk, there's like gel or product. This guy's hair looked exactly like my hair. It looked touchable. I'm like, how is your hair defying gravity? I wanted to reach out and touch his hair, because he had really nice hair. And then on top of which he also had on a pair of shades and the frames were big frames and it was like thick black plastic and they were square. And the color of the lenses, they were like light blue lenses. So I had no idea what color the guy's eyes were at all. And, he hops in my car and he starts just launching into this conversation. Oh, Uber is so cool. I love Uber and having so much fun with these drivers. And it's so nice to just get a car whenever you want it. And, as happens with straight women and gay men, we started talking about our boyfriends. And then we're going across Sunset and then up Benedict Canyon to San Ysidro, which is like on the way to like this, very, very posh, very expensive, part of town. Anything in Benedict Canyon is expensive. But keep in mind, this was a long time ago. So I don't know if this person, we were going on our way up to a party at somebody's house. And so we're driving up this hill, through this really nice area. And I asked him what he does. And he says, oh, he's a singer. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. Do you have any gigs coming up? And he says, yeah, well, actually, I'm going to be singing. iHeartRadio is coming up and I'll be singing with Queen. And I'm like, oh, well, that's really cool. And I thought maybe he's a backup singer. You guys probably figured it out right now, but me, I'm focusing on driving and, you know, this really nice conversation I'm having with this sweet kid. And, well, at my age, everybody's a kid, right? So, you know, we're going up this top of the hill, and he said he was a singer, and I keep looking in my mirror, and I'm like, who is this guy? And so we get to the top of this street, and there's a guard shack where you have to be announced. And they asked for his license. So he hands me his license. I hand it to the guy. And the guy looks and he hands it back. And I'm not going to go, oh, well, that's who you are. You know, so I hand it back. I did not want to look at the name on the license. And I didn't. So I handed it back. And we're going through this gate that opens up into this enclave, this private area. And he says to me, you know, when I was on Idol, that really changed everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, you were on Idol? Really? I watched every year. And he's like, well, without the slightest bit of, don't you know who I am? Zero. Totally, completely humble. He kind of like shrugged and he goes, well, I'm Adam Lambert. And I went, you are not. Shut up. Take off your shades. And he takes off his shades. And I'm like, oh my God. I love you. I voted for you. How are you? I've had Adam Lambert in my car, and I'm like, I'm like babbling about how much I love the guy, which is the one thing I never do. I don't ever do that. Whenever I meet anybody famous, all I ever do is ask if I can shake their hand. Now, I have shaken a lot of hands, and I'll tell you that one next time. But Adam Lambert is an absolute sweetheart. He was so cute. He was like embarrassed for me. He blushed. He got, you know, he pinked up a little. And, you know, we finally pull up to the house and I'm still gushing, trying to like not have the earth swallow me right now. But we get to the actual house and there's like cars up and down the street and there's like valet drivers in red vests, probably, you know, 5 or 6 of them. And because, you know, there were people that were going to this huge party at this house of this famous person. I don't want to say who it is because now you know what street they live on. So even though you got to be announced, I don't want to do that. But anyhow, so Adam Lambert is getting out of my car and I say to him, I want you to know something. I'm going to remember this forever. And he said, so will I. What a sweetheart. So that's my did you interact with a famous person and you didn't know who they were story. And Adam, if you see this, mwah, love you. All right, you guys, have a happy day and let me know what you want me to do with my next Manny. And I will see you on Friday. Bye.